It's Hearty's looking back for another cooking video.
I haven't done one of these in a while, and heading into it, we have no plan. So this video is a work in progress.
Yes.
But what we're doing today, what we're cooking today on this cold January the 3rd day, is Hudson's favorite stew that I cook.
Yes, it is beef stew.
It is classic Hearty beef stew by the Rustic Foodie. I want to make sure that she gets credit for this. I'll tag her and everything. And I'll just a little history about this before we get into showing you the ingredients. Several years ago, I don't even know how long ago now, 10 years ago probably, Miss Mandy and myself went on a little trip to the mountains of East Tennessee without the kids. They stayed home with their grandparents. And the first night we went to a restaurant and they said it's an hour and a half wait. Well, we don't wait an hour and a half to eat in this family, do we?
No.
No. So I said, let's go find a grocery store. We were staying in a cabin with a full kitchen. So I said, let's go find a grocery store and just get some stuff. You don't know, you weren't there.
I was saying.
So anyway, as we're standing in the grocery store in Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg, I'm not sure where we were, Mandy found this recipe, the Rustic Foodie Classic Hearty Beef Stew. And she said, this sounds really good. Let's do it. So we got all the ingredients and we did it. Now, I don't know that we did it exactly right up there because I don't remember it being, you have to want it bad. This is not like you just throw it all together and eat. It's
a lot of work.
It's got a little work in it. But anyway,
one time it took them like 14 hours to cook it.
It didn't take 14 hours, but we were doing a double recipe that time. It took a long time. But anyway, so we liked it so much though in the mountains that when we came home, we made it, I don't know, maybe a year later. Well, the kids were little. I don't know that they cared.
No.
Fast forward, I don't know, 6-7 years. Well, I made it one day and he ate it and ate it and ate it and talked about how good it was. And then last year I made it twice. I made it once just for him and then I made it once for our neighbors and us. And it's really good.
It's very good.
So anyway, long story short, we're going to show you the ingredients now. Again, I don't know how this is going to go, but we're going to do the best we can with the equipment we have to show you what's in it. I'll link you to the recipe and show you the recipe, and then we're going to eat it and grade it.
Yep.
All right, so we'll be right back. Okay, guys, so Hudson has opted out. He has gone across the room. Here's the recipe, Classic Hearty Beef Stew. Shows you the ingredients there real quick. Again, I'm going to link you to all this, but what I wanted to show you is we have the ingredients here. It's pretty simple. We have a red cooking wine, we have beef broth, we have flour, we have tomato paste, oregano, thyme, salt, pepper, garlic. They asked for garlic cloves or call for garlic cloves. We're not huge garlic people. I'm going with that garlic. It's got approximately 5 red potatoes. You could probably use whatever potato you wanted, but we got red potatoes. It's got about 5 or 6 carrots. And then it calls for 1 pound of chuck pot roast. I believe, chuck roast. That's 2 pounds, so we're going to probably use part of that today and part of it for something else. But anyway, there's your ingredients. Basically, we got to dice up our onion. We got to saute it, and then we got to cook our vegetables. Excuse me, that's not true. We actually cook our beef first. We dredge it in flour and cook it. Anyway, I'm moving this around real quick, and this is probably horrible camera work. But anyway, there's your ingredient list. We will do some instructional videos for the cooking as we go. We'll be right back. Okay, Hudson doesn't know how to operate the camera, but we have our beef now. I've cut it in half. We only need half of it. I'm going to cut it into smaller pieces, but not too small because we have to dredge it and fry it. Brown it, I should say. Frying is probably not the proper word. Miss Mandy's over here getting the potatoes and carrots ready. The potatoes called to leave the skins on. I don't like it with the skin on, so I asked her to peel them. Anyway, and she's going to also dice the onion. And then we're going to start cooking. We'll be right back. Okay. Are we filming?
Yes.
Okay. So the first thing you have to do once you get everything cut up, show Miss Mandy. Look, she's got everything almost cut up for the second for the second stage. The first stage, you have to take this beef that I've chopped up, dredge it in flour. I've got some canola oil in my little Dutch oven here, my little pot. I've got it heating up. It's about ready. But anyway, you put this meat into this flour, get it coated, then you cook it. I don't remember what she says. Let me tell you what she says. Also, this is salt and peppered. She says about a minute per side. So basically, you just want to brown it. So we're about to start doing that. I will let Hudson film a little bit of that, but my stock thingy's not quite hot enough. So we'll be back in a second. Okay, so we have our meat, or at least half of our meat dredged.
I was just showing the pot.
Okay, pot is hot. So basically, you just drop the meat into the heated pot. Just want to brown this. Also, this creates the flavor at the bottom for your stew in your pot, and we'll show you later how that works. Chef Michael will show you. Anyway, this is going to be boring just to sit and watch, but we're going to put this in here. We're going to cook it for about a minute aside, and then we're going to drain it on this guy here. And we won't be back until I'm ready to deglaze, but we'll be back when we're ready to deglaze. Okay, so we've browned our beef. Hudson showed the beef. It's not fully cooked. You don't want it to be fully cooked, but look at the remnants of what we have down in there. That's where all the good flavor is. So you add a little more oil. You keep your eye on a medium-high level, and then you add your onion. And it says to add your garlic now too. I usually wait a little bit on the garlic, but you want that onion to soak up all that flavor. And I told you wrong. I said we'd be back when we deglaze. We're not ready to deglaze yet. But so we want to brown this a little bit, getting the flavor off the bottom. You want to scrape that off the bottom. And you'll see as we build on this why the flavor is so good. But I'm not going to add the garlic yet. We'll be back in a little bit to add the garlic, and then we're going to add the carrots and potatoes and all that good stuff and deglaze and yeah. All right, we've added our garlic. We've cooked this for, I don't know, maybe 4 minutes. And we're about to add our 1/3 of a cup of red wine. I've done this several times with cooking wine. I've done it with red wine. Done it with different kinds of red wine. I don't know how much of a difference it makes. This is like an $18 bottle of, I don't know what the brand it is. We don't do wine in this house. But anyway, so I don't know. I've always been told if you're going to cook with wine you would drink. So we bought a little nicer one this time. So this has to reduce, hold on, let me tell you how long, for about 3 minutes. So we'll be back when this is reduced. Okay, so we've reduced. If you'll give us a camera on that, we've reduced that wine. It's kind of down to like a sludgy onion garlic wine reduction. Then she at Rustic Food, the Rustic Foodie, says to add your carrots and saute them for approximately 5 minutes in this reduction. I will tell you this: carrots take a long time to cook. Her time is 5 minutes, and then you'll see as we go. Her time probably works for her. Different times, different altitudes. How hot you're cooking it. I'm going to turn that up a little bit. Look, make sure your carrots are done. You don't want hard carrots in your stew. But that's the next step. We also need the salt and pepper. Always season your food, people. Food is no good without seasoning.
How do we have the fancy salt and not the pepper?
I got that for Christmas. Look how fancy. All right, so the next step is to add the beef broth, which is right here. We're getting ready for that, but we're not there yet. Then we will add our meat back in also, and then at the very end you add the potatoes.
Which are right here.
Which are right there ready to go. So we'll be back in a minute. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes.
Look at these.
Carrots are cooking. They are soaking in all that flavor.
Is it ready to add the broth yet?
Yep, about to. But first I'm going to add the beef back. So now you add your beef back. Oops. Oops.
You missed.
Well, if you miss, you miss.
Yep.
Pick it up. All right. So we're ready for 3 cups of broth. I already have it measured out because I watch cooking shows.
What about this other one?
Yeah, I'm going to need it.
Or 6.
So you got 3 cups of broth that you add. Now you basically just level it out under the broth, and then you cover and cook it for 15 minutes. This is very important because it's got to get your carrots done. I'm cooking at about medium-high heat. I'm going to leave it where it is. We're going to cover that bad boy up. We'll be back in 15 minutes. Okay, so I said 15 minutes last portion of the video. It was actually 20. So the Rustic Foodie is Christine Rooney. She lives in Minnesota, interestingly enough. So I just went back and I actually looked up her blog. She redid this recipe a little bit, changed up a few things. I think the ingredients are all the same, but she changed the cooking time. So anyway, that cooked for 20 minutes. All right, so come on in here, honey. So this is what it looks like after 20 minutes. Notice the crystal.
Yeah, we got that like a year or 2 ago.
So anyway, that's what you got. The carrots are probably halfway cooked. The meat now is probably mostly cooked. And look at that, like that base for the stew. Oh my goodness. So now we add another cup of beef broth.
I thought you were about to add the potatoes.
I am. Add another, and then I add the potatoes. Again, we peel our potatoes and make them into kind of small pieces. You can sort of do that however you want to. I think she doesn't peel her potatoes.
She can do whatever she wants to do.
Yeah, she wrote the recipe.
Yep. Well, that's basically what... It's almost done. You just got to cook it.
Well, so here's what we got left. So you put the extra broth in. You put the potatoes in. I'm going to up the temperature just a little bit because the potatoes cool it off. Ooh, that's hot. So I'm going to put the top back on it. So at the end, you don't season until the end, and you add the tomato paste at the end, which is a little odd. I don't remember it being that way, but
here's the last.
Yeah, I don't remember it being that way, but obviously it is. So anyway, we got this, and then the seasoning to add at the very end. We got 20 more minutes right here, though, so we'll be back in 20 minutes. Okay, so here's what she looks like. She's been simmering at that level right there for about, covered, for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. I'm going to tell you, you have to make sure your stuff's done. Her recipe calls for certain times and recipes, but make sure your stuff's done for you. But anyway, at the end, she seasons. So she says to put 3 tablespoons of tomato sauce. We are a big tomato sauce family. You don't want to over sauce it by any means, but I don't know. That's a lot. I like to use almost that whole can. You got to let that incorporate in. So what you need to do basically is do that. It calls for a teaspoon of thyme. I don't measure. I'm not a measurer. I don't know if that's a teaspoon, but I do thyme. And then it calls for oregano leaves. I did notice she updated her recipe, and she said you can use just regular Italian seasoning. It's up to you. I don't.
Well,
so I had those 2 in there. So you want to now incorporate that in to your stew. I mean, I don't know for sure that everything's done. I'm going to check it in a minute. I also will check it. I'm going to give it about 5 more minutes. I want to check it for seasoning. It may need more salt and pepper. I didn't put a ton in. I usually don't, because you can always season at the end.
my hand was in the video.
Does that look good, Hudson?
It does look good.
Okay, so put the camera on me. I got to explain something. I screwed up a while ago. So one thing I did screw up. This is from the Rustic Foodie. It's called Classic Hearty Beef Stew. The beef stew we made a long time ago in Gatlinburg was Rustic Beef Stew by somebody else. So anyway, but I have made this 3 or 4 times since then, and it's really good. So we're going to put the top back on. We're going to let it cook for about 5 more minutes. And then I'm going to come back and taste it and make sure it's got enough seasoning. And then we're going to eat it and let you know where it falls on the 0 to 5 scale. Hey guys, it is done. I have checked the seasoning. I added a little bit of salt and pepper. The potatoes are done. The carrots are done. I'm putting a little bit in my little stew holder.
Stew holder.
And Hudson's going to get some in his little soupy bowl. And then we're going to eat a little bit on camera over there in just about 20 seconds.
So we got our stew.
Hearty beef stew. Hearty classic beef stew by the Rustic Foodie. She is at I think it's the rusticfoodie.com. I promise y'all, I'll put all of her information on here. I want her to get all the accolades for the recipe. Yeah. All we do is put it together. Her recipe is amazing.
I got me some carrots.
Okay,
some potatoes.
Yeah. Hold on, before we eat it, just to show you, we use this wine. I don't know much at all about wines. Brian Moore told us to get this wine, and my buddy Jason Swanner says this is good wine. All right, so that's what we use. It's only 1/3 of a cup, so
it all cooks out.
Yeah, it all cooks down. So anyway, here's what it looks like in my little container. I've just got a little bit. We're going to eat a little bit on camera here, and we're going to tell you how great it is. And
I got me the whole.
You got it all?
Yeah, I got the carrot, the potato, and the beef.
Really hot. So look, again, you could eat this with whatever, crackers, bread, cornbread. I think we ate it with cornbread.
The carrot fell off, so now I just got.
All right, so anyway, cheers. And this is the beef stew. Mm.
Ooh.
Mm. The flavor is rich. Mm-hmm. So what I will tell you, people,
the beef is very tender.
The beef is tender. That's Walmart beef. I've made it before with like local beef, and it was better. But it was way more expensive too.
Yeah.
So I probably could have put a little more thyme in it. I don't taste the thyme very well. I may put some more thyme in it. That tomato paste gives it that, you can taste it. Mm-hmm. That earthy flavor. Mm-hmm.
You can still smell a little bit of the lime.
Yeah, you can. This is really good though. This is a 5, maybe a 10. Make sure your potatoes and carrots are done.
Mm-hmm. Also, Derrick Henry just passed 2,000 yards this season.
Oh, glory be. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Anyway, go cook this if you like beef stew. It is quite a bit of work, as you saw, but most stews are. I think the next cooking video we will do is I'll cook my chicken stew. Do you like my chicken stew better than my chili?
No.
Do you like this better than chili?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
It's really good. I think the first time it was so amazing was because we used that good. Whatever.
It's really good with lesser than great beef, but it is really good if you use top-notch beef.
And they cooked it for a long time.
Yeah, it really, honestly, it probably needs to simmer another 20-30 minutes. I might need to put a little more time in it too. Anyway, it's still
tastes really good.
Really good. We got a ream of crackers. We're about to go to town. All right, so if you like these kind of videos, let us know. Look, we're hugely amateur at this. I have no idea what Hudson's videos look like when he was filming me.
Well, they're a lot better than our chili one. That chili one was pitiful.
I mean, honestly, we don't know what we're doing with filming or editing. We're horrible at both, but we enjoy doing this. So I hope you enjoyed this this video, and I hope the Rustic Foodie enjoys that we cooked her food, because we've cooked it now, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. And we really love it.
Very good.
So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll be back very soon, maybe with another cooking video, maybe not. I don't know. But for Hearty
and the chili king,
we'll see you next time.